may not be a clap, Jays fans, but it's good enough as the Toronto Blue Jays beat the New York Yankees 4-1 and punch their ticket to the 2020 MLB playoffs. What a year it has been. There is still 3 games remaining against the Baltimore Orioles, but I don't think anybody really cares at this point about that series. At this point in time, at least. The Toronto Blue Jays are back in the playoffs. Now, yes, is it an expanded playoffs? Are they only 3 games over 500 and whatever the case may be? Yeah. But you know what I say to that? I don't care. The Blue Jays went from a 95-loss team last year, 5th worst in all of baseball, to this. To clinching a playoff spot, for winning 3 of 4 against the New York Yankees to clinch a playoff spot. The road that this team has been on, from starting the season not having a home, from starting the season basically in summer camp not knowing if you're playing in Canada or the United States, then finding out you're not playing at Rogers Center. Then going to Buffalo, then even going around the big leagues and still not having a home. Then having Buffalo as your home. And then all the people, or more or less just the Yankees, complaining about everything about the field. Even though the field looked great and they did a great job with Salem Field. With the injuries, with losing Ken Giles the first game of the year. And then basically not seeing him the rest of the season. Now he's having Tommy John. He is done. For at least this year and next. For losing Jordan Romano. For 2 pitchers, Anderson and Roark being horrendous. For losing Pearson to injury. For losing Bichette for almost a month. This team has battled. They've got contributions from so many different players. And they are headed back to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Those magical years of 15 and 16. But as we talked about in 16 and in 17, the transition years had to happen. The tough losing years where you had to build that farm system back up and build through the prospects, build through the system, build through international free agent signings, build off of free agent signings like Hyunjin Ryu. They've done it. Are they a finished product? Are they a team that's going for the World Series? No, they're not there yet. But in sports, in any sport, you have to take it one step at a time. And the Jays have. They've made the playoffs. They are in the last spot right now, but I don't really care where this team sits. They could lose the next 3 to Baltimore. I could care less. They are in the postseason, and I am so excited to watch Blue Jay playoff baseball again. And those Respect Toronto shirts, oh, I like me one of those. I'm loving that. And what a game it was today at Salem Field. Let's break this puppy down before we talk about the celebrations and whatnot and continue to talk about it, all right? Hyunjin Ryu got the start today, and it was so fitting. The stage was set, right? The free agent signing, the big name free agent signing. We have not seen a big name free agent signing for the Blue Jays in quite some time. They bring in Ryu. He has a rough first couple outings of the year. People are calling for his head already because we're impatient, apparently. And then you see him start to deal. And in his last 9 starts, Ryu gave up 2 runs or less in each of the last 9 outings. That is called dominance. He was incredible. And wasn't it fitting that your big name free agent, your only real stable starter this year, is on the mound in the game where you can clinch a playoff spot? And that guy did not disappoint. You know, a lot of people are wondering, okay, well, you know, how's he going to do against the Rays and whatnot? Well, that's obviously, questions for a future time. But for right now, Ryu pitched an absolute gem today. For the first time this year, a Blue Jays starter has pitched into the 7th inning or pitched 7 innings, period. And Ryu did it in 100 pitches. He was awesome, throwing lots of strikes, soft contact, got into a few rough situations, got out of them, got incredible defense. I gotta say, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., we've talked a lot about how his defense has been really shoddy so far. This game, he was awesome. A beautiful pick, an amazing stretch for Bo Bichette, a nice play in the hole where he knew he needed to go after that ball, got the sure out of second base. No runs ended up coming across, I don't think, in that, or maybe one did. I can't remember. Not on that play, but in that inning. He looked very good at the plate. He looked very good in the field. And he was boogieing around the bases. Now let's get to actually what happened in the ball game, because in the bottom of the second inning, with Jordan Montgomery pitching for the New York Yankees, Vladdy gets a 1-1 pitch to curveball down and in, and he turns on it and hits it deep to left center field, and it's gone for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., putting the Jays on top early, as we have talked about so often. This team gets that lead early. You get some juices flowing early offensively. It's contagious. Vladdy gets them on the board early, big time. What does Ryu do in the next inning? Puts up a 0. How many times have we said how huge that can be? Because in the next half inning after the Ryu 0, with 2 out, Kevin Biggio hits a double into the gap. Next batter, Bo Bichette, he doubles down the left field line. Biggio comes in to score, and the Jays are now up 2-0. Guys, it is not rocket science. You get the offense flowing with Vladdy's home run. Ryu goes out there, 0. Back on the bats they go. They get another run, right? It's so important for this team to do so. And then after the 2-0 lead, the way Ryu was pitching, my confidence was going way, way up. And I was just relaxing, watching Hyunjin Ryu just absolutely carve the Yankees up consistently throughout this game. Then we go to the bottom of the 6th inning in one of the most pivotal at-bats in this ball, or innings, let's just say. Hernandez strikes out to lead off the inning against Adam Ottavino. I think it was Adam, or he came in later. Sorry, Grichuk then singles to center field. Now in comes Adam Ottavino, and Vladdy singles to left field. A great game at the plate yet again for Vladdy, and Grichuk moves up to second base. 2 on and 1 out for Gurriel, and he strikes out. There's 2 out, a guy at first and second. It's all right, he still got the lead. It's okay. But Alejandro Kirk, we have heard he can hit a fastball, but we're not so sure about the breaking ball. He gets a breaking ball from Adam Ottavino. It was kind of over the middle of the plate. And what does Kirk do? Turns on it, rips it down the third baseline. It's a fair ball. In comes Grichuk. It's 3-1 lead. And Vladdy turns on the afterburners, rounds third, head first slide, looking like Kevin Pillar flying in home. And he slides in just ahead of the tag from, I think it was Higiyoshi or whatever the heck his name is. And it's a 4-0 Blue Jays lead. A clutch 2-out, 2-run double off Adam Ottavino for the young 21-year-old catcher / DH, I guess today, Alejandro Kirk. Big time hit for the big man. You love to see it. Now, Ryu's got a 4-0 lead. And what does he do? Goes out there for the 7th. Gets the job done. Gets LeMahieu to fly out. He was 1 for 4 in the game against Ryu. All right. Then we turn to the bullpen. And the bullpen, as much as it's been great all year, we're all thinking to ourselves, okay, now Ryu's not in the game. What are we going to see? Well, Anthony Bass goes out there for the 8th and gets a line out from Voit in the first pitch. And we're like, all right, this is great stuff. Then Bass starts to lose his way. He walks Aaron Hicks. He walks Giancarlo Stanton. And we're like, okay, there's 2 on now. Tying runs on deck here. Not what you want to see. Then Gleyber Torres grounds out. This was the play I was talking about with Vladdy, where he went in the hole to get it. Nice little toss over to second. Didn't try and make a spin toss to first or anything. It's a simple play. Get the out. Good job. Good play by Vladdy. Now you have 2 out. Runners in the corners. A lot better now with 2 away. And Gio Urshela hits an infield single to second base. Hicks scores on the play. And just like that, it is now a 4-1 game. The tying run is at the plate. And it's Clint Frazier. And he walks on 4 pitches. And we're like, what the heck's going on here? The bases are loaded. And they bring in Gary Sanchez. With the counter move, the Jays go with Rafael Dolis. And Dolis almost hits him, right? It was so close. If I was Sanchez, you take that hit, you get that RBI, you get it a 4-2 game, you pass the baton. Because I think after that, it was, who was up after him? It was Aaron Judge, right? Bases loaded. You want him up at the plate. But instead, he gets another pitch. And Danny Jansen sets up down and in on Gary Sanchez. That ball just went right down the middle at 97. Gary Sanchez doesn't miss it. He hits it high and deep to left center, and Grichuk's going back. He's going back. I'm like, no, not a grand slam. Please, no. And Grichuk makes a little jump at the wall, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Probably about, 2 or 3 feet, and that's a grand slam, and we're trailing 5-4. But instead, he makes the catch. That catch, right? That whole scenario is Blue Jays baseball of 2020. The stress, you have a 4-0 lead, everything feels great, and the stress level goes right up. He's just out of nowhere. And at that point in time, what have I said all year long and over the last few years? You usually get that one opportunity late in a game to put a team away, come back in a game, or take a lead. They had that chance. They didn't get the chance. I won't say they didn't capitalize because it was a damn good hit, but they didn't capitalize on it. And for me, I'm like, now I feel real good. All right? They don't score any. Chapman comes out and does his thing, whatever. Top of the 9th, I look at the lineup, I'm like, oh, God. Judge, LeMahieu, and Aaron Hicks. And if any of them get on, I think it's Stanton next. Oh, God. And Rafael Dolis strikes out Aaron Judge in a curveball. Strikes out LeMahieu in a curveball in the dirt. I think it was a nasty splitter or was his curveball? I can't remember. I think it was the curveball to Judge and then the splitter to LeMahieu. I could be wrong. Come in curveball for both. And then Voit hits an infield single to third. And we're like, okay, it's okay. The tying run's still on deck. We're all right. And the high cheese from Rafael Dolis gets Aaron Hicks to strike out. Ball game over. The boys are going to the playoffs. What a game it was. What a start from Ryu. You got unlikely sources contributing with the guys like Alejandro Kirk, who wasn't on the Jays roster a couple weeks ago. Vladdy, who hasn't been really showing the big power as of late, or all year long, really, gets you on the board. And a pitcher who hasn't, a team who hasn't had a starter go 7 innings all year long, has a guy go 7 innings in this game today. It's Blue Jays baseball this year. It's insane. It's on the edge of your seat kind of stuff. And the Jays just won 3 of 4 against the New York Yankees. And they're playing for something. It's not like they're just lying down and being like, whatever. We're in the playoffs. No pish posh. Would they rather play in Yankee Stadium or, let's say, in Minnesota? We all know they want to play in Yankee Stadium because look at their record at Yankee Stadium versus away from Yankee Stadium. It's significantly different. So the Jays just might have spoiled their plans, as well as winning ball games. Now let's talk about the celebrations. You see all the smiles. You see Charlie Montoyo smiling. You see Hyun-Jin Ryu and Rowdy Tellez. I'm like, that's a lot of weight in that hug right there, but I love it. Ryu's smiling from ear to ear, and it's well-deserved. You're seeing Vladdy put on his GoPro, because remember, he's only 21, guys. He's enjoying his young life right now. And just everybody going out there. And I saw too much of Tanner Roark. Guys, if you guys were watching the live stream that I actually had going on Instagram, the Instagram Live, thanks for joining. And if you have not done so, follow up the Instagram page. The link is in the description because I will be doing more of that moving forward. I asked some of the people that were on there. They said, yes. I'm like, all right, let's do it. It was pretty straightforward, pretty simple stuff. Let's do it. So if you haven't followed the Instagram page, the link is in the description. But guys, I just want to say this to you. I know the season's not over yet, because it's far from it. But I want to say thank you. Thank you guys for going on this ride with me. This 57 games has been a roller coaster ride at that. But we're in the playoffs. We made it. They're going to the postseason. I mean, it still hasn't really sunk in, but it's incredible to think about it. The last time we were able to say that, Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, so many other guys on this team, Stroman, Sanchez. It's been a long time since we've heard those names being talked about. That was the last time this team was in the playoffs. And these guys, the difference between that team and this team, like, who were the guys that I mentioned? Donaldson was like 33. Edwin was 34. Jose was like 35, 36. Yeah, Stroman and Sanchez were young, but they got moved on from it. Those 3 core guys. Who's the core in the Blue Jays right now? Biggio, 25. Bichette, 22. Vladdy, 21. Do you see the difference? This is what it takes to build a team, to build a World Series contending team, to build a playoff team. And I kept saying in my videos the last few years, be patient. Wait. And everyone's ripping Shapiro and Atkins consistently. But now they're not. Because they're winning. Jays fans, enjoy this night. Enjoy this team. The next 3 days against the Orioles, if they win or lose, I'm not going to be upset. I'd like to see some good things happen, and some W's would be nice. But it's not life or death situation like we were talking about since we haven't clinched yet. But now we have clinched are the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'm excited. I know you guys are. Now let's get to some numbers here real quick before we wrap this video up with some more celebration talk. And then talk about the next 3-game set against the O's. It's going to be a long video, but I wanted to do this for you guys. Kevin Bijou went 1 for 4. The runs scored in the ball game today. Bo Bichette 1 for 4 with an RBI, and they were both huge hits. In that third inning of work. So Hernandez went 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts, but he did walk once in the game. He did have a stolen base as well, so good job for Teo. Randall Grichuk had a great game. He was 2 for 4 with the runs scored in the game. Good job for him. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., ladies and gentlemen, Vladdy went 3 for 3 in Game 1 of this 4-game set with a walk. He went 1 for 3 in Game 2. He went 2 for 5 yesterday. And he went 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored, the home run, the RBI, in the game today. He's hitting .263 on the year. He's feeling so good right now. Over his last 11 games, he's hitting over almost .360. He's starting to hit at the right time. And he's hitting the ball hard. All 3 hits today were over 100 miles an hour. And his last one, the single, was 114 or 113 something miles an hour. Ridiculous. Keep counting this guy out. He'll prove everybody wrong. All right, great job. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 1 for 4 in the game. Alejandro Kirk 1 for 4. Oh, but it was a big one for the 2 RBI double for him. Jonathan Villar 1 for 4. Danny Jansen 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. But here we go, the bullpen and the pitching staff. Hyun-Jin Ryu, 7 innings, 5 hits, not a run, walked 2 and struck out 4. He was awesome. 5-2 record he's going to end up on the season. His ERA is 2.69 with a whip of 1.15. What a first year for the Blue Jays for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Anthony Bass went in 2/3. Like I said, 1 hit, 3 walks in the game for him was 1 earned run. Rafael Dolis came out there and got his 5th save of the year, fifth save in 6 attempts. An inning and a third, 1 hit, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning to end the game. All 3. Judge, LeMahieu, and Hicks. Big time strikeouts for Rafael Dolis. Incredible. Now, Jays fans, let's focus on the last series. As much as we're kind of talking about the Rays and focus on the postseason and whatnot, you still got 3 games to go against the Orioles there over the next 3 games. All right, you have Taijuan Walker on the mound tomorrow against the O's versus, I think it's Jorge Lopez in Game 1. John Means goes in Game 2 against Matt Shoemaker. And then it's supposed to be Tanner Roark in the finale against Keegan Aiken. I think, you know what, I think they might just go with Roark in the finale of the series because wow, you're not going to throw your ace. You're not going to throw Pierce. You're not going to do that because you want these guys ready for the playoffs. And if Pearson's coming out of the bullpen, you're not going to see him. So it would not surprise me if Roark decides to get his money worth against the Orioles in the last game of the year. But Jays fans, as I've mentioned, enjoy this win. It was incredible. It's been a ride. It's not over yet. And I can't wait to continue this ride with you guys, all right? So Game 1 of the 3-game set against the O's goes tomorrow at 6:37 first pitch. Taijuan Walker against Jorge Lopez at Salem Field, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys liked the video and enjoyed the game and have enjoyed the year so far, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. Also, a couple notes I want to mention. Caleb Joseph, biggest cheerleader on this team and the biggest heart on this team. You see him after the game doing that chant, loving it, absolutely loving it. Charlie Montoya with the big words to the guys. You love it. The camaraderie in this team is incredible and you love every bit of it. Great job and overall incredible things for this team. I love to see it. All right, comment down below for anything that I missed, guys. Let me know in the comments. Go crazy. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram page is in the description, so if you've not followed the Instagram page already, please go do so. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Nation, in Game 1 of the 3-game set against the O's tomorrow evening, 6:37 first pitch at Salem Field. Jorge Lopez on the mound for the O's. Taijuan Walker on the mound for the Blue Jays. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.